Hi guys and welcome to today's video where today I'm in the kitchen. My god, what could this mean? If you don't know me, I love to cook, but if you don't follow me regularly on Twitter or anything, I am trying to lose weight, which means that I haven't baked really for a long time. But on this channel I've done a Christmas cake video which wasn't that successful, and I've done a macaroon video ages ago. I think it was summer 2017, summer 2016 maybe. It was forever ago. So today I thought I could bring back my cooking with Mel kind of video because I love to cook and I wanted to share it with you, and also maybe because I don't have any other idea for this Sunday, maybe. So today I am making basic 1, 2, 3 cookies, which is a really simple cookie recipe, but I'm taking them to another level by adding Ferrero Rochers. Because I was given Ferrero Rochers for Christmas and I am trying to bake them and make them disappear from my view because I'm trying to lose weight. So my sister's here and she's going to be eating those cookies. So 1, 2, 3 cookie recipe is really simple. 1 part sugar, 2 part fats, 3 parts flour. It needs to be in weight, it doesn't work with like cups and stuff. So I'm making a whole lot of them. I have 150 grams of sugar, which are 100 grams of glucose syrup, and then half and half of brown sugar and normal caster sugar. You can use like regular white normal sugar for all of your sugar, but I have glucose syrup to use from my Christmas video. If you haven't seen that video where I actually made glucose syrup, you can click on the I thing or the first link in the description, that's going to take you there. But yeah, I had glucose syrup to use, so I'm using that as part of my sugar. Then 2 parts fat, that is 300 grams, which is double the amount of sugar. Of butter, I'm using a mix of regular butter and salted butter because I like it, but you can use plain butter or salted butter as you want. They need to be room temperature, 300 grams for me, and then 400 grams of flour, just like plain flour, but you can use oats or anything you want. Basically the idea is to keep this 1, 2, 3 ratio, 1 part sugar, 2 parts butter, 3 parts flour. And then I have optional ingredients. I'm using a bit of baking powder because I want them to be a little bit fluffier than normal cookies. And then I have Ferrero Rochers, some that I'm keeping whole to put on top of my cookies and some that are crushed up. If you want to crush up Ferrero Rochers, top tip, don't do it like me. Freeze them and then chop them up because they have Nutella in the middle and it's really difficult to chop, so I made a mistake. 1, 2, 3 cookies are really easy because everything goes in the same order as the ratio. So 1 sugar, the rest of your sugar goes in it, give it a stir. Liquid glucose is really sticky, so I like to use a spoon, but in a bit we'll be able to stir that with our hands. If you're not using different type of sugar, this bit is going to be optional, but if you are, make sure they're all combined before going in with your room temperature butter. That again looks like a lot of butter, but I am making a lot of them. Now is the good time to mention that you can use an electric whisk to make it faster, but anyway, spoon works just as fine. Once your butter and sugar is combined, you can see all of these lovely pockets of brown sugar. That will give you a nice crunch and like a bit of color on your cookies later on. You can add your flour. Maybe don't dump it all at once if you're doing a big batch like I am. So now goes in the rest of our flour and also our baking powder. Again, this is optional, it's just because I like it when cookies are a bit fluffier. I'm going to add a drop of vanilla extract and then just go in with my hands and bring that together to form a dough. So that's your basic 1, 2, 3 cookies done. They're really good as it is. You can just bake them, eat them, really good. You can also freeze the dough and keep it for later. You can eat it raw or put it in ice cream or anything. It has no eggs in it, so it doesn't actually need baking. So for those of you who like eating cookie dough, that's really good. I have divided mine into two, added my crushed Ferrero Rochers to this half. This is just like plain cookie dough. They are wrapped in tinfoil, that's not tinfoil, in cling film or saran wrap, and they're going to go in the fridge because I've worked them quite a lot to put the dough together, and the one with added crushed Ferrero Rochers has been massaged a lot, so to give the glutens a chance to like kind of come back together, and also to give the butter the chance to solidify a little bit before baking them, I'm going to put them in the fridge for like half an hour, and that gives me a good amount of time to clean dishes. So after being in the fridge after like 15 minutes, my dough is now divided into 12 pieces because I have 12 whole Ferrero Rochers, and I'm using one of those silicone molds. If you have slightly smaller molds, it's going to make it easier because they're a bit too big for the Ferrero Rochers. But basically what you want to do is kind of like flatten your dough, create like a little basket for your Ferrero Rochers, and the shape of the mold is going to help to keep it kind of like curled up on itself. But if you have a smaller mold, it's going to be easier. And now just do it for the rest of your Ferrero Rochers. And now that they're all nested in their little cookie basket, they go into a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 12 minutes, depending on how cooked or how soft you want them. 12 minutes works well with my oven, but 10 minutes might be enough if you don't like them too crispy. So that's the rest of my cookie dough. I've divided it into kind of roughly equal sized balls, and I'm just going to make like plain chocolate cookies using dark chocolate chips. Put a little bit in the middle and then close it around, kind of flatten it so that it makes a nice gooey chocolate center. These, by the way, are because I had too much liquid glucose to spare, so I had to use it, so I had to kind of double my dough recipe, but the recipe that is available for you in the description down below is enough to make the 12 Ferrero Rochers cupcakes, so you shouldn't have this like leftover dough to make chocolate, like plain chocolate ones. They're still delicious and they work with the same dough, but my recipe was for 12 cookies. I just had to double it because I had, again, too much liquid glucose. Try to make them as equal in thickness as possible. They don't have to be the same shape, but the same thickness helps with the cooking, because otherwise the thicker ones are going to be less cooked in the middle and the flatter ones are going to be a bit crispier. So I feel like that's about as good as it's going to get with me. So now they go into an oven like the rest of them, about 180 degrees Celsius for 10 to 12 minutes, exactly the same. Give the cookies plenty of time to completely cool, and then you can decorate them with some caramel, because I had some left over, so I'll just drizzle some caramel over it, some crushed nuts, and then they're ready to eat. And there we go, that was my 1, 2, 3 cookie recipe. I would recommend doing it with just like regular caster sugar, and not glucose syrup or corn syrup or anything liquidy, because it gives them a weird texture. And I know I said they will cook in 12 minutes, they definitely need at least 15 if not 20 minutes, because they're really thick, because I wanted to make kind of like a basket around the Ferrero Rochers. But this recipe definitely works with regular sugar, regular butter, regular flour. You can make delicious cookies like that. They will cook a bit faster, they're thinner, but today I made them a bit thicker. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like so that I know that you enjoy me baking. You can click here to subscribe to my channel so that you get notification every time I upload. You can also go click here to go watch last week's video, and I'll see you next Sunday. Bye bye! I'm too far away from the camera to do the bye bye, but bye bye!